Welcome to Seat of Wisdom online lesson. I am happy to come your way once again. My name is Prince. Today we are continuing our lesson in English language. We are still under grammar and we are looking at kinds of sentences. We have started with sentences. We have looked at examples of sentences, subjects, predicates, simple sentences, and what have you. Today we are looking at kinds of sentences that we come across in our reading and our studies. Common ones are the four that I intend discussing with you. The first one is statement or declarative sentence. So, which means that we have group of sentences that we call them statements or declarative sentences. Okay, what are they and what do they do? We have other sentences that we call them or refer to them as question or questions. We also have command, and finally we are going to look at exclamation sentences. Let's begin with sentences, and we are looking at statement. What is a statement as a sentence? It is a sentence that tells something. Okay, that's why you have a man categorical statement. Somebody speaks to you and make an emphatic statement. Tells you something. The book is black. He or she has made that fundamental categorical statement. It's a sentence though. The book is black. It's a statement. Okay, we say that it is a sentence that tells something. And with this kind of sentences, it ends with a full stop. If you don't know what a full stop is, this is a full stop for period. Okay, so when you end a statement, you should end it with what? A full stop. That's what I'm talking about. Look, Amma is not well. You see, Amma is not well. I have made a statement. It's a sentence though, and I put a full stop with here. The full stop indicates that I have ended the sentence. So this kind of a sentence is a statement. Or I make a declaration. So we call that one a declarative sentence. It's like you are declaring something. You are making a statement. Okay? Let's say you go to the pool and then election is done. At the end, the electoral commission will make a statement that this party A or B has won their election. That pronouncement, that sentence can be termed as a statement. Okay? Amma is not well. It tells something. So it is telling us something. What is it saying? It is telling you something. The children have gone to school. The children have gone to school. You end with a full stop. So this sentence is also communicating. It's also telling you something. It's also telling you something. Okay? So the next one is the teachers are singing. Now, I ask you, what are they doing? You will tell me they are singing. You see, it is a sentence. But this sentence is telling you something. It's giving an information. It is making a statement. The teachers are singing. So at that point, what are they doing? They are singing. So that statement is made. So we call these examples here, this kind of sentences, as statements or declarative sentences. Can you give your own example? You see, don't forget, you must end statement, sentence with a full stop. The next example I would like us to look at is a question. Question. When you say a question, what comes to mind? You see this? Good. Whenever you talk of a question, this comes to mind. What is that? That's what we call question mark. Question mark. So question mark comes to mind when you are asking a question. So questions are another example or kind of a sentence that we construct or we use in our daily interactions or communication or intercourse with others. So it is a sentence that asks something. It is a sentence that asks something. It asks, it probes, it makes inquiries to get a response or an answer. So all these sentences that seek to get an answer or that ask something, we call them question sentence. We call them question. So question ends with a question mark. Whenever you ask a question, you have to end it with a question mark. You see, you will end it with a question mark when you are writing. But when you are speaking, your tonation will determine whether you are constructing a statement or a question. Have you eaten? How old are you? When do you come in? Why have I not seen you? What was your grade? The way you put the sentence will let the listener know you are asking him or her a question. But when you are writing, you have to end it with a question mark. And this is what a question mark is. Few examples on the board. How old are you? I did not end with a full stop, but rather a question mark. Did you go to church today? So I will end with what? Question mark. Did you go to church today? You have to answer that question. Even though it's a sentence, this one comes in the form of a question. When is your birthday? So you see, you can put a full stop here. You're going to put a question mark here. Okay? You're going to put a question mark here. When is your birthday? You see? Good. So what you have to know is that we have kind of sentences that ask questions. And with such sentences, we end them with a question mark. Okay, so when somebody asks you, baby girl, Amma, Kwesi, have you eaten? The person is constructing a sentence, but this sentence is a question. The third is command or imperative sentences. Command or imperative sentences. You see, what is command? You have heard about this. If you've not heard about command, you've heard about commandment. A commandment will tell you to do or not to do something. You see, commandments are set of rules that instruct somebody to do or not to do something. So the command we have here comes from the same angle. Okay, so it is a sentence that tells someone to do or not to do something. Just as commandment will tell you, you shall not kill. You shall not kill means that you can't kill somebody. You shall not steal means you cannot steal anything. Okay, so these sentences command you not to do or to do something like that. Okay, it's not a statement which is telling you something. It is not a question which is asking you something, but this one, you are being commanded to desist, to refrain from acting or doing something that is not acceptable. So you are either called upon to do or not to do something. So these sentences, we call them imperative sentences. Example, and I'm saying that this one, they also end with not a full stop, not a question mark, but what? Exclamation what? Mark. Okay? They end with exclamation what? Mark. In most cases, they end with exclamation what? Mark. So that's it. Okay? Good. But in a mark command, sentence, when it's not that strong, I mean mild one, you can end it with a period. That is a full stop. Okay? Okay, I have an example on the board. When I get there, I will tell you. So I mean that command or imperative sentence ends with exclamation mark. And this one command us to do or not to do something. Example is go away. Go away. You see, when you are commanding, when you are constructing, we are speaking, and you are using imperative sentence, the voice goes up. The voice goes up. Okay, so go away! Exclamation mark. You explain. The next one is ponder over it. Ponder over it. You see, ponder over it is a command, it's imperative. However, it is not that strong, so you are permitted to use a full stop. So we call this one a command. Ponder over it. Ponder over it. You don't shout, tell somebody, ponder over it. Just say, ponder over it. Okay, it's a command you are giving to the person. Okay, so this one you can use with a full stop. Okay, the last example is don't sit down. Don't sit down. See, you walk in. You are late for lectures, for classes, and you just want to sit down. And the teacher, don't sit down, stand up. You see, you are being commanded. So just that sentence, you cannot sit, you will stand. Okay, good. So the next that we are looking at is exclamation sentences. Exclamation sentences. Okay, what is exclamation sentences? You have seen what exclamation sign is. It is a sentence that shows or expresses strong feeling or surprise. Okay? It is a sentence that shows or expresses strong feeling or surprise. Okay? It ends with an exclamation point, just as with imperative sentences. So, with these sentences, they express how we are feeling, our feeling at a time, how surprised we are at an event or situation or an occurrence. Okay, so we are talking of sentences that expresses how shocked, how surprised, how we feel at a certain point in time. Okay, good. So based on that, we are saying that it also ends with an exclamation sign. We have an example on the board. It's wonderful. Somebody prepares a beautiful gift for you. Then you look at it. It's given to you, it's like, wow, that's wonderful. Okay, you are so surprised at the work of the person, the creativity of the person, what the person has been able to come out with. So when you see something, it's like, wow, this is wonderful. How stupid that girl is. You see a girl who does unthinkable things, unexpected, something. It's like, wow, how can she do this? You see, you are so surprised that a girl of her age will belittle herself to do something. It's like, how stupid that girl is. You see, you are so surprised at her action. So you are making such a statement. Okay, that's just a sentence. So you don't feel bad if you're a girl. It's just a lesson that we are putting across there. We have, oh, what a player. You see Messi dribbling, like, wow. Oh, what a player. You are shocked at the way he handles the ball. You are amazed at the performance and the skills that he has. So you say, wow, what a player. Okay. In a nutshell, I am talking about kinds of sentences. And then I started with a statement, an example of a sentence, which ends with a full stop and tells something. And I proceeded to a question, forms of sentences, which also ends with question mark. We saw imperative sentences that gives command and command us to do or not to do something. And finally, we have to look at exclamation sentences. These sentences, what they do is that they show